Hello, I'd like to introduce Getting Started with Kafka Extension. My name is Tsuyoshi Ushio. I hope you enjoy it. So, I'd like to introduce the first concept of the Kafka Extension. First one is the mode. This is called single mode and batch mode. I'd like to explain the difference between two. For the single mode, there is a bunch of the message already stored in the broker. So you want to consume as fast as much as you can. In this case, we have two modes. One is a single mode and the other is a batch mode. For the single mode, what happened is if the broker message is there and the Kafka listener reading the message certain amount of the time, then the message reading the message and the message 2 is coming. Then what happened is the message sent to the function one by one like this, and the function executed, and the second message is coming and sent to the coming to the functions and executed function. So that means the function is executed serially one by one. Then what is the batch mode? For the batch mode, what happened is the broker has stored the bunch of the message as well. The Kafka listener reading the message the same as a single mode, but the only difference is that if you choose the batch mode, the message is sent to the function at the same time like this. Then the function executes only one time because this is passed as an array. That is the batch mode. So I'd like to introduce the demo of the single and multiple mode. How can we make it? So for the C# code I'm going to show you, then this is a single mode. As you can see, there is a Kafka event data like this. So this is reading a message one by one, and this method signature is very important. If you specify this one, this means a single mode. If you specify do like this, this is batch mode. So you can switch this, and also if you see that this one max batch size for the single mode, it might be good for the one, but in this case the Kafka listener reading 3 but function executed one by one. This is a single mode. So let's execute this one. Come on. So as you can see, only the one function is there. This is a single mode. So you can see the function execution is one by one. Very slow. As you can see. Okay. This is a single mode. So probably you want to read the much more. So let's do it. So in this case, we can just close out this one and move to the batch mode. So the coding of the batch mode is just simple. Yep. Like this. And as you can see, this time method signature is the Kafka data array. This means that this function executed the batch mode. So if you define the max batch size as 3, then the 3 messages coming at a time of the function execution. So let's see what happens. So you can also see, the trigger is executed. This time, the function execution 3 messages read in one function execution. Obviously, this is much faster, right? So this is the first step of the single mode and batch mode. So then let's go on the next step. The very important concept of the next one is the partition and consumer group. For in the Kafka concept, that there is a topic that is stored as a bunch of the message, and that topic is logically separated by it is called partition. So consumer in this case, Azure function, and the function, if there is only one function and one worker, and only we have one consumer group, in this case, this consumer group read every partition, all partition, and the consumer group has some commit offset, so that remembers where until where we read the message, something like that. So in this case, these functions run one by one, either the mode, the single or batch, I don't care, but this function is only one, so run just one by one serially. So probably you want to run concurrently or parallelly this function, right? So gaining the throughput. Then what can I do? In this case, we can scale out. In this case, that there is two functions is there, two consumers are there. So but the same consumer group. In this case, each functions reading the specific partition and run parallelly, two parallel in this case. So it is much faster, double. The speed must be double. So it's great. If you want to maximize the throughput, how can I do it? Is this one. This is if you make it as the same number as the partition, if you scale out to the 6 in this case, then it is the maximize your throughput, because this each function is run parallelly, 6 parallelly in 6. So one function is only reading one partition. This is the fastest. But you might guess, hey, if the worker becomes 7, what happens? Okay, in this case, the new worker, the 7th worker, do nothing. So that means, that if you exceed the partition number of the partition, that means nothing. Just you need to pay money, do nothing. So be careful about that. And then the next concept is, if you might think something like this. Hey, I have a maximize throughput by this 6 parallel, but I just using the just 5% CPU. I want to save my money. Okay, in this case you can include the concurrent execution in this time. So for example, how can I do it is now for the one worker you can define two functions in the same class, for example, with a changing name, and then this is referred as the different consumer, but the same consumer group. The concurrency is the same, two concurrency, and 3 groups over the parallel. So that means this is also each function only have a one partition. So that is why the second fastest option. So you can consider the balance between the CPU and usage and memory usage, and how much pay your money or something like that. But this is how can we make it parallel or concurrent, the execution for each function. So other concept is if you change if you have a different consumer group, what happens? So among the consumer group, the partition 0 to 5 is red, and with each consumer group have offset commit. That means how much do you read the message. So if you have a consumer group B, so totally different one. In this case, consumer group B is only one, so this guy can read any partition. And but offset is totally different from consumer group A. So you might read the same message as consumer group A. This is the concept. So let's go to the how multiplicity, which means the concurrent execution or parallel, either way. So we can do the demo. So in this case, let's go. So now we have one the batch mode one. So if you want to maximize the throughput, that you can do define the same functions like this. No, same functions with a different name with like this. Yeah, totally different. This one is a little bit different one. So this is the small tips. And if you define the two generic parameter, you can use a Kafka event key. The key is sometimes very important. Usually this is a no, but if you specify the key, you can control depend on the mode, you can control which the partition have a specific key message. So you can control that one. So if you specify in one function, 3 functions, and 3 batch mode function is defined, and then what happened is you can see this is the same as only one worker, but I have 3 functions leading the same consumer group. Then you can see the 3 function run parallelly and reading 3 message at a time. This is much faster compared with the last time, right? So this is the basic idea of how can we parallelly or concurrently reading the partition as fast as you can. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it.